Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a full face of Covergirl makeup products. I'm doing this because Covergirl is now cruelty free, so I am branching out into their products. So I will let you know what I got. Yeah, some of these products I have been using for a while, so I can give you guys more of a solid review, and other ones I'm just going to be trying out today, so I will let you guys know my thoughts on a lot of these products. Okay, so as far as foundations go, I've been using two CoverGirl foundations. I've been using two CoverGirl foundations, and I've been using these products for a few weeks now, and I actually really do enjoy these products. So the one that I've been using the longest is this CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I really do love this product. I've been using it for so long. It's a really good summer foundation. It's really light and dewy. I really do like this one and would recommend this one. Yeah, it's just a really good lightweight natural BB cream type foundation. So my most recent purchase is this CoverGirl True Blend foundation. It's their main foundation they have. This one I've only been using for maybe 2 weeks, and I really do like this one too. My holy grail foundation before I picked this up was this L'Oreal Infallible foundation. L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This was pretty much my ride or die forever. I love this foundation. And I still really do like this foundation. I think it's a really good foundation, but this one is probably right up there on that same level as that other foundation. It's a little bit thicker and more moussey, but the coverage is amazing, and the stain power isn't that bad either. I would say that one looks a little bit more, or I would say the L'Oreal one looks a little bit more skin-like. This one's a little bit more thick, but they're both very similar. And then for the skin, I'm going to be using this CoverGirl True Match Concealer. I love this concealer. This is my favorite drugstore concealer, and I've tried so many concealers from the drugstore. I've tried the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I've tried the Revlon Candid Concealer, I've tried the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I've tried so many, and this one has the most coverage and the best stain power. I absolutely love this concealer, and I highly recommend. And my most recent purchase is this CoverGirl Clean Fresh, Fresh powder. I've been trying this powder out for the past week, and I really do like this powder as well. I think it's a great powder. I have it in translucent. Yeah, I think this is a really good drugstore powder, and I'm going to be wearing this today, so. Okay, first things first, I gotta get this hair out of my face. Okay, I'm gonna start out with that CoverGirl True Matte Foundation, and I'm just gonna blend it in with a sponge. In case you're wondering, I didn't apply a primer. I know CoverGirl has some really good primers. I'm not a big primer person. I've been trying to go through this primer that I purchased from Revlon a while ago, and I really don't like it. I don't feel like it does anything for my skin, and it also kind of continue to push me away from primers. But yeah, I do need to branch out into primers so I can review them for you guys. It's just I'm not a big primer person. I feel like once I have my moisturizer and SPF on, it's I don't want to put anything else on my face. But I will branch out into primers so I can give you guys a couple of reviews. So okay, so the next thing I'm going to be using is this CoverGirl True Blend concealer. I love this concealer. I've been using it forever. It's slowly won its way in my heart. I will say, one thing I've noticed about CoverGirl products is they tend to lay down really fast and dry down. I've noticed that with the foundation and the concealer. That's why I'm going in with my under eye concealer last, because if I put it down now, it'll be set. And it'll be harder to blend. Okay, and I'm sorry for the bad lighting, you guys. I'm still trying to figure out lighting. Yeah, it's weird. I have natural lighting coming in, but then I also have these bright lights that kind of wash me out, so it looks really weird in here. But yeah, I definitely need to figure out my lighting situation. Okay, so next I'm gonna take this EcoTools Big Fluffy Kabuki brush, and I'm gonna go in with that CoverGirl Clean Fresh powder, and I'm just gonna set everything down. Okay guys, sorry, I had to change my robe. Those sleeves were driving me crazy, so Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is bronze. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is bronze, and I'm gonna go in with this CoverGirl True Blend bronzer. I know CoverGirl has like more contouring type products. I couldn't find it in my drugstore, unfortunately. All I could find is this really shimmery bronzy color. That's like all they had available. Typically I like to go with more cool matte tones. I don't like a lot of shimmer in my bronzer just because I like to contour with it. So I don't know if I want to be doing a lot of contouring with this product, but I definitely think I will get a little bit of contouring out of this and some glow. Also, another thing is I forgot to pick up a CoverGirl highlighter. I know they had them. I feel really dumb for not picking one up, but I think I'm going to improvise. I don't want to pull another product from another brand, and I definitely want to keep this all CoverGirl. So I'm going to bronze up. And this is also the first time using this product. I've never used it before, so I'm going to be using it today, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Obviously, I can't give you guys a super good review just because this is a first time use, but let's see how it goes. Okay, I know the lighting's terrible. I'm gonna let you guys get a better look in natural lighting after the video. Okay, so first off, I think the tone is really, really good. I definitely wish it wasn't so shimmery, but I do like the tone of this bronzer. It's kind of like a bronzy neutral. Like, I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it's very bronze. It's kind of like mid-tone. It's not too red, not too cool. So I think the tone is really good. It blends it out really, really nicely also, which is a plus for me. So, yeah, I do actually really like this bronzer from my first initial use, so yes. Okay, so next step is brows, and I will be using this, CoverGirl pencil in Honey Brown. This is another one I've been using for the past week or two, and I actually really enjoyed it. When I first used it, I was a little concerned because I have to get ready kind of fast in the morning, and this is like a very, very fine tip. And I was kind of worried since it was so small, it was going to take forever to do my brows because I'd have to get those individual little hair-like strokes. So, I was a little worried about that, but actually it's pretty fast to use, surprisingly. I'm definitely kind of used to something more like the e.l.f. pencils where it's like a thicker tip. I just think it's faster, it's a lot easier. And then I also use these like little Maybelline pencils with a thicker tip. Just, you cover more space in your brows, but this actually was pretty fast as well. I was very, very surprised. So I'm going to be using this today in my brows. Alrighty. I also need to pluck my brows really bad so they're looking a little squirrely, but I think it looks okay. Yeah, I've been really, really enjoying this eyebrow pencil in the mornings, and also because the tip is so fine, it's like I can get a little bit more precise, and I could like define my brows a little bit more and shape them more, so I've been really having fun with that. So I do like this eyebrow pencil. I think it's really good. Okay, so next up is eyeshadows. I just put on a little bake so I can wipe away any eyeshadow fallout and bake a few places, so I'm going to be looking a little crazy. But I do have quite a bit to say about CoverGirl eyeshadows. I personally don't think eyeshadows are CoverGirl's strong suit. I think they have a lot of really good, solid products, like their foundation products, their cheek products. Their eyebrow pencil wasn't bad. Their blushes are absolutely amazing. And I think it's definitely a solid brand. It's just their eyeshadows, for me personally, I don't hate them, but at the same time, I don't necessarily love them. I definitely tried a few different formulas from CoverGirl when it comes to eyeshadows. These are all CoverGirl eyeshadows that I own. And I definitely like some more than others. Yeah, I like some more than others. So I'll just kind of give you my rundown and my thoughts on all of the CoverGirl eyeshadows. Okay, so first off, I would say this is probably their most classic eyeshadow formula. I've owned some older shades, or some older eyeshadows in this formula. Oh my gosh, Oh my gosh, guys, this takes me back. Like, I can't even believe I still have some of these. So, I own a couple of Covergirl eyeshadows, and they're super old packaging. Like, this is probably like 10 years ago. These are some colors that I used back when I was in high school. I don't use them anymore. They're retired, but I definitely still hold on to them. Yeah, it's this old school formula. I even have some old school classic blushes from a long time ago. So, these are super old, and I would say the formula in these feels pretty much almost exactly the same. I don't think CoverGirl has really updated some of their formulas at all. It feels pretty much the same. But some of their newer eyeshadows they've come out with, definitely, the formula is different, but this is definitely their classic formula. And I don't mind their classic formula. When I was looking in the drugstore to pick up new CoverGirl eyeshadows, I've noticed their singles, their quads, I've noticed they didn't have as much color as what I remember them having. It was all very neutral, classic shades, which I didn't think was a bad thing, but it was kind of unfortunate because I wanted like a few fun colors, but I couldn't find any. It might just be the drugstore that I was looking at, or maybe they just made that change to their brand. I really don't know, but these are just kind of middle of the road for me. I don't love them, and I don't necessarily hate them either. I just think there's some other eyeshadow formulas in the drugstore that I love so much more. And I love Maybelline eyeshadows. I think they're so freaking good. But I'm trying not to buy them anymore because I am wanting to kind of push more toward cruelty-free products. However, I have been loving these little e.l.f. bite-size palettes. These things are so good, and they're like $3, I believe. And they're absolutely amazing, and I think they're so much better, in my opinion, than some of the CoverGirl eyeshadows. So if you're looking for like a more inexpensive, possibly better quality eyeshadow, I would go for e.l.f. But CoverGirl's okay. Like, I'm not knocking it. I just think they're not the best that I've tried. And I think I'm forming that opinion after trying e.l.f. and then trying CoverGirl. They're just okay for me, I guess. So I've already talked about these two colors, Brown Smolder and French Vanilla. I picked these up to kind of mix in some palettes that I have that were kind of missing these two colors. And I really do like these two colors. I think they're really good middle ground basics to pick up from the drugstore. And then I've been trying this other little palette out. This one is Alfresco. It was kind of one of their more basic classic palettes. I feel like I've seen this one around for a while. Another one in the drugstore that kind of has a cult following for being super basic was Shimmering Sands. I almost picked that one up, but I don't know, it just didn't catch my eye. Like, I'm like, these colors look really like basic, and they're all the same shade, and it looks kind of like it's going to be kind of muddy. So I didn't pick it up, but I heard that's another good one. CoverGirl definitely has their bases covered in like neutral eyeshadows. That's pretty much all I saw. So in this little quad, I loved the brown midtones. Like, this is a really good neutral midtone shade. I really loved it. This one didn't come off as dark as I thought it was going to. This like darker brown shade, which also kind of made it a more wearable palette. I wore this during the day to work. And it looked very natural, and I really did like it. This little guy wasn't too bad either, just kind of like another neutral blending shade. However, this guy right here, this little middle, like orangey bronze shade, was just okay. Like, I'm comparing it to like e.l.f. Shimmers eyeshadows, which are amazing. And some of my Profusion eyeshadows in this color were way more pigmented. So it's just okay. I was a little bit let down because it wasn't quite as pigmented as I would have hoped, but it's not bad. I still think this is a pretty decent quad. If you're interested in this quad, I recommend it. It's one of their more classic palettes, so it's not bad. Okay, so this guy right here, it's one of their newer palettes. It's in Midsummer Night Mayhem. The pigmentation on these palettes, or on this one in particular, I haven't tried any more. I've only tried this one, is okay. It's decent. My gripe with this palette is, I know it's hard to see, my camera sucks, But these three end shades are so similar. It is so hard to get a decent look out of it. Just because they're so similar in tone and intensity, you can't really, when you put them on your lids together, it looks very muddy, only because they're so similar. And you could definitely use these shades individual with like other palettes. I think that would actually be really cool, but like as far as like using this palette like by itself, it's not that great. It looks very muddy on the eyes, which is kind of like disheartening. And I've noticed that with a lot of CoverGirl eyeshadow palettes. They give you a lot of shades in like one tone and one and like the same kind of depth, so you can't really get like so you can't really get a lot of contrast on the eyes, so it tends to look kind of muddy. I've sort of noticed that problem with a lot of their eyeshadows, so. But here's an example of what I wish this eyeshadow palette was. This is a Maybelline Eye Studio eyeshadow quad in Sapphire Siren. Now, this is what I think is a better version of that palette. As you can tell, which you might not be able to tell because the lighting is so bad, but there is enough like of a difference in tone and in depth in this palette. You can actually get a really good eyeshadow look from it. You have like this aqua blue and then like a darker navy blue and like a charcoal sparkly black. Like, these colors are so different from each other, it actually does kind of show up more it actually does have more contrast on the eyes, so you can get sort of a more 3D look on the eyes. So this is definitely a better version of that CoverGirl eyeshadow palette, unfortunately. Okay, so the next eyeshadows from CoverGirl that I tried out are these bigger palettes that they have right here. I have two. I have their Roses palette and I have their Chocoholic palette. I've been using their Roses palette for the past week, and I actually do really like these eyeshadows. I think they're really pretty. Pigmentation is okay. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I think these shades are so pretty. And what I like about this palette, I've been wearing it to work, is you get more of a variation in colors, which helps you get more of like which helps you kind of get a more of a contrasted, like, better look, because you do get these lighter shades and then you get the darker shades. And since there are a lot more variations in shades in this palette, you can get a lot more looks out of it, which is, you know, kind of nice. You can get some, like, versatility in your palettes. So, and also the shades names are on the back, which is definitely nice. But since I've used this eyeshadow palette throughout the week, I'm not going to use it anymore. I feel like I've used it enough to say that it's pretty good. I really do like this. So in today's video, I haven't used this eyeshadow palette yet, but it's Chocoholic, and this one you don't get as many light shades, so the versatility in this palette isn't going to be as good. You can pretty much get a standard smoky eye from this palette, but I'm going to try it out. A lot of these colors are really pretty. I love the greens and the pukey oranges, and it also kind of goes into some like deep bronzes and purples toward the end. So I'm going to try this palette out and see what I think. And also on this palette, the names are not on the back, which is kind of unfortunate. So I don't know the difference, why the names are on the back with this one and not this one. But okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is go in on the brow bone in the inner corner with the lightest color in the palette, which is this guy right here. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with the crease with this color right beside it. It's like a matte like orangey brown color right here. Okay. So I can definitely say these are very blendable, and they also build really well on top of each other, which I'm actually kind of digging right now, so I do really like this palette so far. Okay, so next up I'm going to go into this like darker murky green shade right beside it, and I'm going to put it on a little bit more of a tapered brush right into my crease. Yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good eyeshadow palette so far, you guys. You guys hear whining? It's my dog and my cat. They're playing and they're being really annoying. Okay, so next up I think I want to try this like dark plum color at the very end. I'm just going to pat that with my finger on the outer edge, like outer corner right here. Ugh, she is dark. This is gonna be a very dark daytime smoky eye. That's a really pretty shade though. I don't know if you could tell right now, but I'll show you in better lighting what this looks like. Okay, so on the lid, I'm gonna go into this shimmery emerald color right here on the end, and I'm just gonna take my finger and like tap it on the lid. Ooh, she's also really dark as well. This is gonna be so dark. I don't think I've worn an eyeshadow look this dark in the daytime, like, in a while. The next thing I'm gonna do, my dog is going crazy outside. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna do is go back into this, like, peaky green, like, orange, brown shade right here, and I'm gonna go back in and blend some of this darkness out a little bit. Okay, and I'm also gonna take a little bit of that pukey orange shade and blend a little bit of it on my lower lash line, just to balance that out a little bit more because it's so heavy on the top, so. Okay, now we have a very like grungy, smoky eye going on, which is a little bit more than what I wanted out of this palette, but I mean, I think it works. I don't see a way of getting anything other than a dark smoky eye out of this Chocoholic palette, and my dogs are going insane and I'm very sorry. Okay, so I do like the shades and the blendability, and they build very well on each other. My only complaint is, oh my gosh, I've been trying to sit here and film this video. My animals have been going absolutely crazy, so hopefully they'll calm down. Okay, so next up I'm going to use this Covergirl eyeliner in Charcoal Carbon. This is a pretty good standard twist up eyeliner. I really do like their eyeliners. Yeah, I'm going to line my eyes and hopefully balance out this like dark smoky thing I've got going on. So I accidentally picked up the eyeliner in gray, so I couldn't really get a super decent line, so I topped a little bit of that gray eyeliner with the darkest shade in this Midsummer Night Mayhem palette. I just took a little angle brush and packed it over, and it darkened it up enough so it looks okay. And then I also used CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. I love this. I use this every single day. CoverGirl has really, really good mascaras. So, that is where I am right now. I did that off camera because I am in a little bit of a time rush, and I have to go get lunch here in a bit. My dogs have gone absolutely insane today. I don't know what is going on. Like, the day that I decide to film this, like, they just keep barking and whining. You've probably heard my little dog outside whining. Like, she never does that, ever. So I don't know what's going on. And also, this look turned out a little bit smokier than I would have hoped, but it's okay. We'll just roll with it. It's not the first time. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get a highlight from CoverGirl, so I'm just going to take my finger and go into the lightest shade on this Roses palette, one of their lighter shimmery pink shades, and I'm going to use that as a highlight today. It's actually a really pretty highlight, honestly. And also their blush that I'm going to use has a little bit of a sheen, so I think it'll be okay. We'll live. It's actually hard for me because I really love highlight. Like, I like a nice blinding highlight, but I think this will work today. Since we got so much going on the face, so. Okay, so next I'm going to use this CoverGirl blush in Sophisticated Sable. I might even try to use some of that lighter shade as a highlight. This blush is actually kind of interesting because it's sort of like it's sort of like one of their more popular blushes. I know a lot of people on YouTube really like this blush. And when I first used it, I was like, it's okay, it's not anything special. And also when I picked it up, I'm like, this doesn't look that great. But it's really weird because the more I actually used it, the more I really, really liked it. This actually is like my favorite blush now, which is kind of crazy. It just took me like 3 uses and I was like obsessed. It looks really good on my cheeks. At work during lunchtime, I always go and like look at how my makeup is holding up and look at what looks good and what doesn't look good, and this blush looks so good. And there's a blush from Revlon called Smoked Peach. That lip color and this blush look so beautiful together. Like, it is a really nice combo. So I think I'm actually going to try to use this highlight color real fast and see. It might be too much. Definitely not too much, but I did remember something, you guys. I know what I can use as a highlight. God, I'm gonna have so many weird shades on my cheeks. This guy right here from Covergirl. It's like a really, really pretty light peachy color. It's so pretty. I love this color as a highlight back in the day. However, this one's super old. Like, super, super old. I could have swore I repurchased this color. Maybe I didn't, but I'm gonna use it. It's probably like almost 10 years old. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Glad I remembered this. So, I know they still have their Covergirl Classics line. It's just in newer packaging. So I'm pretty sure you can still find this color because you can still find soft mink today. I actually just recently repurchased soft mink. Yeah, this is what their newer packaging looks like. This is soft mink. This is what their older packaging looked like. So that one that I used, I don't know the color off the top of my head, but I'm sure you could still buy this. They still make their classic blushes, and I would recommend, highly recommend getting their classic blushes. They're so beautiful. Easily, hands down, my favorite drugstore blushes, so I would definitely get, like, all of them. I'm pretty sure I have that light shell color I just put on. I just don't know where it is right now, but, I also have Silk Rose, which looks like this, in their newer line, in their newer packaging. It's a classic blush in newer packaging, so this is also a really beautiful blush. I love this thing so much. I also have one of these CoverGirl's Cheeker Blush in Natural Rose. This is also a really, really pretty blush as well. They have so many different blushes to choose from. Honestly, I haven't used one that I don't like, but today I'm going to use Sophisticated Sable. Yeah, you guys, this is one of my favorite blushes of all time now. Okay, so the only thing that kind of annoys me about these blushes is look how tiny these little pans are, and for blush, it's kind of hard to get your brush in there, especially if you have like a thicker, fluffy blush brush. So yeah, that's my only complaint, but other than that, they're pretty decent. Even their Cheekers blushes, you don't get a lot of space. I kind of wish they would just take out the brush that they give you. This guy right here, I mean, I don't think anyone uses this, and just gave you more product. But other than that, that's like my only complaints about these blushes. So unfortunately, I don't have a lip liner from CoverGirl. I thought I did, and I need to purchase one, but I don't have one. So I'm just gonna go in with lipstick today, and honestly, I have so much going on my face. I feel like I don't need any more product on my face. But before I put that lipstick on, I really want to set my face a little bit. This isn't from CoverGirl, unfortunately. I don't have a primer from them or a setting spray. So I'm just gonna go in with some Wet n Wild setting spray. That's the only product I think that's the only product that I don't have from CoverGirl is a primer and setting spray. As you guys can see, I've used up this hard candy setting spray. This thing has been loved. I still need to go back and repurchase this. Just my makeup purchases have been crazy lately, so I've been trying to go a little easy on the makeup lately. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with this CoverGirl lipstick in Streaker. This is actually the first CoverGirl lipstick that I've purchased, which is kind of surprising. I've worn it a few times, and what I've noticed is they do have good stain power. However, when you first put them on, they're kind of oily. And I was kind of nervous about that because I'm like, oh, this is going to like slide off my lips and get everywhere. But it really doesn't. It definitely dries down and looks pretty decent. So that's kind of another thing I've noticed about a lot of their products. They do tend to dry down. Okay, I was distracted yet again and I completely forgot what I was doing. This morning has been crazy. Phone calls, people coming to the door, animals going insane. Okay, lipstick. I believe this is what I was talking about. So, CoverGirl, lipstick, and Cheekers. Okay, so CoverGirl, lipstick, and Streaker. Good lipsticks, feel oily, dry down, last a long time. Okay, so I kind of wanted just a wash of color today. As you can see, it's pretty pigmented still. But with the eye look being so dark, I didn't want to put a ton of lipstick on, which it's more than I wanted, but it looks good. Okay, so I've tried a few things from CoverGirl. Some just from across the board from CoverGirl, I think at this point, and I think I can say I really do like the brand. I think they have some strengths and weaknesses, some strengths and weaknesses. I would say their foundation and concealer, their concealer is like the best. It's the best I can find from the drugstore. I absolutely love their concealer. Foundation's pretty good too. Foundation's right up there with my Holy Grail foundation. Blushes are also very, very good. I really do love their blushes. They're some of my favorite from the drugstore. Eyeshadows, I don't mind their eyeshadows. They're okay. The only thing that I don't like about their eyeshadows is a lot of their palettes and quads are, it's really easy to get muddy looks. I think you can definitely buy products from CoverGirl that give you more of a, they give you more contrast and have more, like, diverse looks, but unfortunately a lot of their palettes, you can only get, like, one type of look from this, which is a smoky eye, which is unfortunate, but if you want a smoky eye, you can get this from this palette. I think it's gorgeous. Also, you could mix palettes together. I think these green smoky colors with these rose colors would be really pretty, like, mixed together. I think with eyeshadows, you know, you can mix and match. You don't have to be stuck to one palette. But if you are just wanting one palette and you don't want to mix and match, I feel like it's going to be harder to find something to get a lot of diversity with CoverGirl palettes, just from what I've tried. Yeah, like I've said, they have a lot of neutral eyeshadows. I didn't see a lot of color. I didn't see a lot of bright colors. I think maybe they can expand on that. And they need to improve their shimmers. Like, their shimmers are okay, but they're not the best. And I feel like drugstore makeup is like becoming better and better constantly. And I feel like CoverGirl's sort of fallen behind a little bit when it comes to their shimmers and their lighter shades. I noticed they're kind of missing a lot of lighter shades in their eyeshadow line, so I definitely think that's one place where they can improve. I definitely think e.l.f. eyeshadows are, like, way better than CoverGirl, but they're still good. You can still get a look with them. They're not terrible. And I just think they're just kind of okay for me. They're decent. The eyeliner was really good, even though I got it in gray and not, like, black, which would have looked better, but I could improvise. Their mascaras are amazing. I love CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I will say, my holy grail back in the day was CoverGirl Lash Blast. Does anyone remember this guy? Something about this, I don't know if they changed the formula or if it's just not that good anymore, or if I've just gotten used to other mascaras and prefer them over this. This is okay now. I almost think, like, I don't know, the staying power with this wasn't that great, and it took forever to dry down, and I like the Exhibitionist way, way better, so it's just kind of a middle of the ground mascara for me. I think if you're going to buy a mascara from CoverGirl, I would get the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. I think it's amazing. And also the powder was, like, really, really good. I absolutely love these two products together. The staying power was decent for me. I have really oily skin, and I have seen some people with oily skin not like these two products because it broke down really fast. I haven't noticed that, actually. I think it's actually really good. So it stays good on me, and I wear a ton of moisturizer underneath, so I do love these products. And I also really love their eyebrow pencil. Like, it's really good. And their bronzer, for as shimmery as it was, it actually worked really good. The tone of this was really nice, and it doesn't, like, look weird or anything on my skin. So I really did like this product as well. I'm pretty sure they have, like, a matte bronzer and, like, contour palette thing, but I just couldn't find it at the drugstore from where I am, so yeah, which is unfortunate. I've seen it before, and I believe their highlighters are pretty good too. I haven't tried them. I've heard good things about them though. I will pick one up and I will try it for you. Right now I'm kind of overloaded with highlighters that I have to try. I have a ton of new products that I'm going to be trying out for you guys, so yeah, I will give you guys a look at this makeup look in natural lighting, because this lighting's This is the look for today. I really actually like it. It turned out a little bit darker than I would have hoped, but yeah, for daytime it's definitely a little dark, but you know what? I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I used to do it all the time, just now that I'm older, it feels weird, but yeah, I really like it. Covergirl has some really solid products. I would definitely recommend. I haven't ran into anything where I just completely, absolutely hate it. So yeah, that's definitely a good sign. I would recommend Covergirl, and I'll definitely be trying them out a lot more for you in the future. So, with that being said, I need to hurry up and go get ready. It's been a crazy morning. I've been so distracted, but thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!